Time now for the morning rush. We begin with news happening now. The Valencia County Sheriff's Department continues their investigation and search for the person who fired shots during a party, leaving a 16-year-old girl dead. Deputies say they found the body of Vanessa Ordonez along the river in the Rio Communities area. Now, this is by the Allsups around 9 on Sunday night. Witnesses say up to 100 people were having a party on a sandbar when a fight broke out. The Sheriff's Department says it appears Ordonez had been shot and also struck by a car. Well, today marks the first anniversary of the Clovis Carver Public Library shooting. An observance and a moment of silence will be held at the library at 8 this morning. Now, that's where a 17-year-old is accused of opening fire, killing 2 librarians, Chrissy Carter and Wanda Walters, along with injuring 4 other people. Portraits of the victims will also be unveiled at the ceremony. Kristen?
Mostly sunny and dry today, not even seeing a lot of cloud cover out there, but there's a cold front moving in tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll see if we can get showers up over the northeast. Might be giving this model too much credit, but more of that possibility of spot showers out over the southeast come Wednesday afternoon and evening. David?
All right, thanks a lot, Kristen. You're taking a live look over the White House this morning, where the flag is being flown at half-staff after being raised less than 48 hours after the death of John McCain. Now, McCain lost his battle with brain cancer over the weekend. President Trump also made his first public comments about the passing of the senator. This was at an evangelical leadership dinner at the White House last night. Now, the president thanked the Arizona Republican for his service to the country. Earlier, President Trump had been tight-lipped when reporters pressed him for comments about McCain. Now, back here in New Mexico, Governor Susana Martinez has ordered flags to be lowered at half-staff in honor of Senator McCain until further notice. The governor also says that he is an American hero, and because of that, the flags will continue to be flown at half-staff. Well, a group of New Mexico State College students are recovering after an alleged drunk driver crashes into them. Gabby Cafaro, her sister, and a friend were all going to the NMSU Wyoming game in Las Cruces last Saturday. Police say they were driving down Del Rey Road when 48-year-old Robert Alarcon turned in front of their car, causing the crash. Now, the complaint says officers found an open beer can in his car and say that Alarcon blew a .15. He is now facing drunk driving and other charges. Well, happening today, Mayor Tim Keller is expected to announce new crime-fighting tools along the ART corridor here in Albuquerque. You may remember we reported in June that the bus stations were getting cameras that will then stream live to the Real-Time Crime Center. Now, a news conference is scheduled for this morning at the Crime Center and hopefully unveil some new plans. And today, Rio Rancho is looking into changes that would allow more breweries to open up in that city. Today, the Planning and Zoning Committee could look at a resolution to allow them in other parts of Rio Rancho. Current city zoning laws limit where breweries can move in to only the city's business park district. Now, that's because many breweries are categorized as a beverage manufacturing business and do not have in-house food services like restaurants and bars that are allowed across the city. Well, happening now, if you have a warrant for unpaid child support, you can visit the child support offices and get caught up on those payments without the fear of being arrested. After that, the state says officers are ready to crack down. There are 782 active bench warrants in the state, totaling more than $2 million outstanding. Now, you can go to their offices until October 15th. Kristen?
Today's Metro Threat Index at a 0. Nothing in the way of weather problems today. Sunny skies, winds 5 to 15 out of the west, and warm temperatures with highs near 90 in downtown Albuquerque.
Well, this morning, 18 inmates at the Southern New Mexico Correctional Facility are taking part in a unique gardening program. Prisoners garden with their hands in a working garden field or filled with squash, beets, and onions, harvesting life skills to better their lives inside and outside of the prison walls. Now, officials are hoping to track those who have gone through the program to see if it's had a lasting effect on them. Well, the Biopark Society is asking individuals and companies to help sponsor the Penguin Chill exhibit. The exhibit will include a display of life-sized sculptures of all 18 penguin species. For a $5,000 sponsorship, you can help fund the educational components in the exhibit. This includes a penguin sculpture with a personalized plaque, VIP tickets to the Penguin Chill preview event, and a behind-the-scenes tour. Well, a young boy will now be able to ride his new bike today thanks to an Albuquerque animal welfare officer. That officer, Chris Rael, says he was out on a call near Gibson in Louisiana when he came across the boy who was from Tanzania. Rael says the boy wanted to introduce him to his friends at an apartment complex and show the officer his bike. The officer says the bike did not have a seat, handlebars were broken, and the tires were flat. Rael then took to social media and got several bikes donated to help the kids out. Kristen?
Time now for a check on your Tuesday morning commute. Map looks pretty good. Just some minor slowing I-40 eastbound near 4th Street. But we also have our news tracker out and about headed south on Coors near I-40. No major problems there, as you can see at a light. But of course, we'll keep them out there and let you know if any accidents pop up.
Well, there's a new Google tool to help veterans search for jobs in civilian life. Veterans can now enter their military occupational specialty code to find jobs that match their skills. Now, the search tool is part of a Google program aimed at helping Americans get jobs.
Final check on that day planner shows temperatures in the 60s now, 70s by 9, upper 70s by lunch, but we don't stop there. 90s my forecast high for today, and we're going to see a lot of those 80s and 90s out there as we get into the afternoon hours. Mostly sunny and clear, no clouds, no storms to mention of today. Tonight into tomorrow, cold front moves in. A few spot showers possible near the eastern state line. The rest of us further west. Stuck with the sunshine, then high pressure building over the area late this week gives us more sun, more of those dry conditions. A few spot showers possible near the southern state line, but those temperatures remaining warm with highs in the 80s and 90s. All right, switching gears now to the 5 facts. We'll kick you off with number 5. A big hats off is going out to Bernalillo County firefighters who helped a wheelchair-bound man stuck on the side of the road. The elderly man was out cleaning the side of the road when his wheelchair went too far off to the side. Crews from Engine 31 found the man and stepped in to help. Once he was guided home, the whole crew then helped get him inside. They also got him water, turned on the fan, and got him safely into bed.
At number 4, UNM says they're open to more retail and student housing on the South Campus. This as students question why construction seems to be at a standstill. In 2012, UNM's Board of Regents approved the South Campus Master Plan. It included areas for shopping, restaurants, and even coffee shops. The university's architect says they've been seeking relationships with different developers over the years.
At number 3, hot and dry for the next several days. Albuquerque, our next best chance for showers and storms. Look to be Sunday into Monday. Temperatures will come down slightly, but still likely to stay warmer than average for the next 6 to 7 days.
At number 2, a group of New Mexico College State students are recovering after an alleged drunk driver crashes into them. Gabby Cafaro, her sister, and a friend were going to a football game last Saturday when police say 48-year-old Robert Alarcon turned in front of their car, causing the crash. Now, the complaint says officers found an open beer can in his car and say Alarcon blew a .15. He is now facing drunk driving and other charges. Court records show he took a deal in another drunk driving case last year. Now, the 3 girls wore seatbelts and are all expected to be okay. And at number 1, the Valencia County Sheriff's Department and state police continue the search for the person who fired shots during a party, leaving a 16-year-old girl dead. Investigators found the body of Vanessa Ordonez along the river in Rio communities around 9 on Sunday night. The witnesses say a fight broke out on the sandbar where a party was happening. The Sheriff's Department says it appears Ordonez had been shot and also struck by a car.